It is natural. You can say that it's not really, it's just semantics. Who cares? Is it natural? Is it not natural? Whatever.
It's just semantics? No, it is not.
I made a mistake. If you're using a GLP, well, you're a piece of shit, cheating loser, idiot. Coach Greg, in today's video, I made a mistake. In a previous video, I stated that Greg O'Gallagher is 100% natural because after all, he's not abusing performance-enhancing drugs, but he is, however, using a GLP, namely tirzepatide. What you need to know is that when I do natty or nots, that's right, on all the people in the past, perhaps over 100 of them, I look if they're using and or abusing performance-enhancing drugs. But there are various organizations and various definitions of what it means to be 100% natural. And so what I go by is the golden standard. WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency. They're the most recognized drug testers in the world. After all, they are in charge of the Olympics. Are GLPs banned by WADA? No, they are not. When TNF watched my video, he was pissed, mad, angry. At least I'm assuming so based on the video that he posted back. Now, remember, he reached out to me about 5 seconds before posting his video, and he said, "Since when have they allowed GLPs?" Didn't really give me a chance to write back. Well, actually, they've always been allowed. WADA allows it and so on. But he posted his video, of which he said, essentially, that I got it wrong.
Is he in fact natural if he uses tirzepatide and or Ozempic? The answer is technically yes.
TNF, he's going like this. No, he isn't natural. And so essentially he's saying Greg O'Gallagher is a fake natty. I'm saying he's not. I don't technically care if he is or he isn't. I have no skin in the game. Now, I read some comments and people said, Greg only supports GLBs because he sells it and can make money. Let me ask you this. For a guy who's a coach, I help people to lose weight. A guy who's sold over $10 million worth of cookbooks on helping people to lose weight. A guy who sells GLP Max, which is a natural way to reduce your appetite by 28%. Which do you think I would prefer? Just for me, selfishly, if my only goal was to make money. Do you think I make more money by not having GLPs even ever invented or by selling them through AlgoRx? Which do you think it is? I'm telling you that if there was no such thing as GLPs, if they weren't invented, if they were banned, I make more money doing as I'm doing. It's clearly been working. Guys, have you seen my frigging cookbook? I do believe I've sold more anabolic cookbooks than anybody else in the world. Perhaps more than all of them combined. I don't know. But I do see its benefits.
It is natural. You can say that it's not really, it's just semantics. Who cares? Is it natural? Is it not natural? Whatever.
It's just semantics? No, it is not. We are in the fitness world, and in the fitness world, a lot of people who are natural like to compete in natural bodybuilding. And natural organizations have very clear stated rules for their athletes. This is the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation's stance on GLPs. You can take the time to read it, but overall, unless...
And so he points out that the WNBF and the OCB, that they have stated clearly that you cannot use it. And so if you're a bodybuilder and you're competing in those organizations, technically he is correct and that I'm in fact wrong. He's clearly shown that in some of the natural organizations, perhaps all of them, I don't know, that you can't use it. But I'm also showing you that WADA, which in my opinion, supersedes all of these tiny little organizations in comparison to the sheer size of the Olympics. I don't know if it's 1,000 to 1, but something like that. And so if you have little mini organizations pop up and they say you can't do this and you can't do that, then, hey, you have to do what they're doing.
And you say, it's just semantics. No, it is not. And you probably just made a lot of people ineligible to compete by using that language.
I just wanted to make this video in case somebody watched my video and said, well, Coach Greg said that GLPs are legal, that it's not banned, that you can get it prescribed from a doctor, that you could, for example, go to AlgoRx and they can prescribe certain medications. Now, at AlgoRx, they even prescribe enclomiphene. You guys know what that is. My opinion, enclomiphene is not natty. A lot of people say, hey, yeah, but it is. But I said on WADA, it clearly lists it as not allowed. And so I make videos, and if somebody's on enclomiphene, I say, you're not natural. And so Grego Gallagher, he weighs in.
It is not considered natural.
Well, technically, WADA's for Olympic athletes, but in natural bodybuilding, GLP, seeing this is not allowed. Guess what? I live in the real world. In the real world, no one gives a fuck about natural bodybuilding. Getting up on stage in front of judges, they want to look good for themselves. They want to feel confident. And GLPs, there's no performance enhancement benefit. It doesn't help you build muscle, doesn't help you recover faster. It just makes you fall a little easier.
And so he's actually correct. The GLP doesn't make you a better athlete. And so, for example, if I start using Retta, remember, I just did a bike race, okay? If I'm using Retta, it doesn't improve my performance. It's most likely going to make it worse. Now, it'll make it easier for me to stick to a diet, but like, does it really make me a fake natty? Essentially, I'm willing to bet that 95% of people, they don't give a shit. They don't care if you're natural or not. And if they think, oh, fake natty, they're thinking they use performance-enhancing drugs in order to improve their performance, to build muscle. And so if you take a GLP, it's certainly going to reduce your appetite, but it doesn't, in fact, improve your performance.
So for people that want help with satiety, they can use it. And I am being 100% transparent. Who else is being transparent? I am the only one showing full comprehensive blood work in top shape. No one else. TNF, where is your blood work? Where is everyone else's blood work?
I do think that TNF has shown his blood work. I also think that I've shown my blood work. And I know for certain that Hussein Farhat has repeatedly shown his blood work. And so, no, Grego Gallagher is not the only one showing blood work. I mean, all you have to do is scroll through my videos to see I've gone over several people's blood work, and many of them are, in fact, natural. I think it's important that we cover some more of these substances to let you decide if somebody is a fake natty or not. And so let's first go over my favorite gal, my good friend Molly. She's such a sweet gal. Is my female friend Molly natural? Now, I looked it up, and to my surprise, you're actually allowed to visit Molly in the off season. Okay? And so if it's a couple weeks out from competition, no problem. But on the day of the competition, it's not allowed. And so if you're, for example, into a powerlifting competition, bodybuilding competition, a cycling event, you can't use and visit your friend Molly the night before the race. Now, personally, I would think that that would just mess the person up. I mean, do you really think that if I had to compete against somebody who was visiting Molly the night before, do you really think that's going to be a performance-enhancing person? I don't think so. But yet, here we are, and so you can decide for yourself. If you have any friends who party harder than last time, are they in fact natural? According to WADA, they are, but only in the off-season. And so what about sniffing creatine? Is sniffing creatine natural? Well, it's a stimulant, and it is in fact banned. And so you can't be sniffing creatine and be considered to be natural. Now, personally, I think if you're sniffing creatine in the off-season, then I don't care. Like, if you're my competition and the day of the event, you show up and you sniff creatine right before and you run the 100-meter dash, I'm thinking it probably gives you an advantage. But in the off-season for training and so on, I don't think it's very good. But hey, it's up for you to decide. And so I'm not sure of the organizations like the WNBF or the CPO or whatever he said it was. I forget the name. I don't know if they allow visiting your friend Molly, sniffing creatine, or even what about Addy? Doing math specifically with the additions. And so I do know that in WADA, there's something known as a TUE. It's a therapeutic use exemption form. And so many people, they have prescriptions for Addies, and they can use them, and they're still considered natural. Now, do I think that using Addies is natty? No, of course I don't. It gives you a huge advantage. Have you ever used an Addy? Trust me, it helps a lot more than just adding time. It adds some extra motivation. For bodybuilding, it can decrease your appetite, give you that drive, that energy to go about your day. And so it clearly gives you an advantage, but is it in fact natty? Well, according to the therapeutic use exemption form, if a doctor prescribes it to you, it's allowed and you're natural. But if you get it and it's not from a doctor, you buy it from bro at the gym, then you're a fake natty. And so one person's natural on it and the other one isn't. Make it make sense. If you're prescribed testosterone by a doctor and it's something that happened to you from birth, your testicles, they don't work. They're smaller than last time. If there's something physically wrong with you from birth and a doctor prescribes you HRT, it's allowed. TUE, a therapeutic use exemption form. But if you're 50 years old and you're Coach Greg and you get your doctor to prescribe testosterone, they're not going to be able to do a TUE because essentially you got it later in life. You kind of maybe did it to yourself. And so in that case, they're not going to allow it. Well, could there not be an argument made that if your body wasn't producing it, no matter what the reason, no matter whether you had a disease or not, isn't it an advantage to get it injected inside of you? Let's think of it. Let's say you're low iron. I don't know why. And so you're getting injections of iron from a doctor. Well, isn't that giving you an advantage? Your body couldn't use it properly from food, and so you're getting an injection to help you. It's clearly an advantage you're getting it injected. And so could use of iron not make you a fake natty? Like, think of it. Your body didn't use it. You got it from somewhere else exogenously, and now you're up to par with everyone else. Could someone not argue, well, my body only produces 400 nanograms per deciliter of test, and they naturally get 1,000. And so to make us on a level playing field, they got to inject me a little bit more so that I also have 1,000. And now we're both equal. I mean, if that kept going on, I could say, well, I'm a 5'6" manlet. I should be able to wear 6-inch heels. Because when I'm playing basketball, I can't slam dunk. And so I need it. And so where does it end? What about a beta blocker? Well, according to WADA, beta blockers are fine for use, for example, in bicycle riding competitions, but not in skeet shooting events, because that can help slow down your heart rate and allow you to have an advantage to shoot between beats. And so it depends. And so if you're on beta blockers, depending on what sport you're in, you're either natural or you're not. Make it make sense. What about cigarettes? Well, if you smoke cigarettes, this is clearly a drug. It's going to reduce your appetite and allow you to stick to a diet. And so it's giving you an advantage, but I highly doubt that anyone is going to say you're a fake natty for smoking cigarettes. What about sleeping pills? You know, if you cannot sleep, you have insomnia, and the doctor gives you, for example, Zopicone or maybe an over-the-counter like Sleep Ease, or hey, what if you're taking melatonin, you know, for example, in Delta Sleep? Well, melatonin in some countries, you have to get a prescription by a doctor. Did you know that? But in Canada, United States, it's no problem. And so if you're taking sleeping medications while dieting, and without them, you'd only be sleeping 3 hours a night, because I remember dieting for natural bodybuilding competitions, only being able to sleep about 3 hours. And so imagine how much easier my natural bodybuilding days would have been had I been prescribed sleeping pills when I was a natty. Think of the advantage. And so if you're on sleeping medications, are you actually natural? You're sleeping through the hardest part of the night. When you're tossing and turning, it's midnight, you can't get to sleep, you're up in the middle of the night starving, and you then take a sleeping pill, and so you don't suffer as much. Is it not giving you an advantage? And so I could easily say somebody saying, you know, I'm 100% natural. I don't take any of that shit. You take cigarettes, you're doing caffeine, you're taking pre-workouts, you're using Cialis sleeping pills, your doctors prescribed you Addies, and because of your high blood pressure, did they not also prescribe you diuretics? Since when is that legal? You're on diuretics. And what about that prescription for T4? Synthoid. And you're prescribed a thyroid medication. And aren't you suffering from PCOS? Well, you need this and you need that. And so do they offer them advantages over their natural counterparts? Absolutely. Where do we end it? And so I'm only making this video to explain to you that neither of us are right. I see your point of view, and I hope you can see mine. And so when I say if somebody's using a GLP that they're natural, I'm referring to they're natural based on WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency, which is considered the premier decision makers of what's natty or not. Now, you don't have to take their word for it. If you feel that a GLP makes you a fake natty, then that is your prerogative. If you think that you can take enclomiphene because it's not an injection, and technically it's just boosting your testosterone, and so why are you a fake natty? Also your prerogative. And if you decide that using Turk Builder Max it's not fair, that it's clearly going to give you an advantage over your opponents, of course it's going to. You don't think that this can help you? Of course it's going to give you more energy, recover harder than last time. build more muscle. And on top of that, you add in GO2 max for intense cardio, and you want to reduce your cravings, use GLP max. You can say all of that, I'm going to do without it. I want to do it me against them with nothing. You can do that. You don't even need to take creatine. That is up to you. But if you want to use the best natural supplements in the world, you know you're getting those from HTLT Supplements, and we are the brand that you can trust, not the others who are scamming you by using fake Ajuga turkistanica. I've already made videos on this. I don't need to keep pointing this out. And so if you want the best natural supplements in the world, you click the link in the description, code Greg, 15% off. If you want advanced supplements, not all natural, but advanced, you can also go to AlgaRx. They have various peptides, including Cialis, Viagra, telmisartan. The list goes on and on. Go through and see. You can even purchase consultations from doctors. It's only $250 for 45 minutes. Imagine what you can learn. I charge way more than that, and I'm not even a doctor. And so if you want to get consulted from them, remember, these are from compounding pharmacies, not some sketchy research chemical site. Prescription medications from doctors from compounding pharmacies. And so if you don't want to leave anything to chance, and if you want better deals than last time, this is what you got to do. You got to go to Merrick Health. Yeah, it's my competition. Do you think I'm cared? Do I think I'm worried? Do I look scared? I want you to go over their site. Look at their site first. Get a great feel for what they offer. Then go to AlgaRx and compare. Compare prices and realize compounding pharmacies. And so once you see how much cheaper AlgaRx is, feel free to drop a comment and say, thank you for saving so much money. I didn't know that a compounding pharmacy could be that cheap and affordable. I make more money by selling natural supplements than you going to AlgaRx. And so if you don't go to AlgaRx and you want to do it 100% natural, it's okay by me. I'm not trying to twist your arm to go and use GLPs. I've looked at both sides of the story, and I've made my educated decision saying it's good for some people. Should everyone use GLPs? I don't think so. What I think you should do is decide with the advice of your doctor, are you of benefit in using it? Is it going to do more harm than good? If you're morbidly obese, I most certainly think that you should be using it. If you're already lean and not struggling, I don't think you should be using it. But if you do decide to do it, please use the lowest dose that makes you happy. I wanted to make this video to let the world know that it depends. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm. Please go to AlgoRx, code Greg, and also don't forget to watch any of those two bloops. Did you subscribe already? Also, if you want to be sponsored, or if you want to be coached by myself or myself and my team, or if you want to carry the supplements your stores enter gym, there's a link to click for that. And until next time, I am out.